Hey guys, welcome back to our very new episode of Training Brain. I'm your host, Angelo Messina,
And Evan Gray.
and my co-host, Evan Greif. He likes to jump the gun like always, but
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'll let you do your thing. I'll let you do your thing. Go, go, go.
last week we talked about TV shows, like every different kind of shows that we were watching, like currently, to like just like and future episodes. But after the episode ended, that we kind of thought for next week we want to link it together about streaming services. So like now you have like before it was just like Netflix, Amazon Prime, Hulu, like you have the main three. Now they're like popping up like they're just popping up everywhere. So like now we're just talking about is the streaming service are becoming like basically like cable vision instead of being like channels is you have each streaming service now. So
So what you're saying is like, are the streaming services becoming like cable packages were back when cable was stronger?
yeah,
Yeah.
that's what
Um.
I feel like is coming because now it's like instead of having all the packages for cable and you have your different thousand channels, you're having your five streaming service now, and basically would be like ESPN Plus, Disney Plus, Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime, and call it a day, and that's it.
Yeah.
And you're spending 15 to 20 bucks every month, or
For
five,
each service.
depending on what it is, instead of paying the stuff monthly.
Yeah. I think that's something that's always been so interesting to me is like when I first started getting into the streaming services, I only knew about Netflix, Hulu, and Amazon Prime. I have Amazon Prime here in Japan, and it's actually very different from the shows that are available in the US. And sometimes I use a VPN so that I can watch US shows. Like the Netflix from Japan and the Netflix from the US are different. So if there's a show that's on US Netflix, I have to use the VPN to watch it.
Okay.
But what's cool is that I can get shows that are active here and not active in the States. But I didn't know about all those other streaming services. I heard about Disney Plus getting bigger, but I didn't know that all of the, normal cable TV channels are coming out with their own, like ESPN, the CW, NBC, uh, and I guess they're just trying to make sure that they're not losing out on viewers and revenue, right?
Hmm.
But I think the platform that has the lowest latency, that just streams really quick and the user interface is really easy to use, those are the platforms that are going to win out. And obviously the ones that have the content that people want to see. You know how like Disney pulled most of this or is pulling in the process of pulling most of its content away from other platforms because now they have their own sovereign platform.
Hmm. Yeah, like Netflix just partnered up like recently with Nickelodeon. So like they were trying to make that fight to compete with Disney Plus because Disney Plus has basically pulling all the Marvel movies, all the
Mhm.
Star Wars movies, all the Disney movies. Plus they're making new shows on top of it. So you have
Yeah.
all the Marvel shows and the Mandalorian
Right.
coming on. They're all big hits.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah. Do you think Hulu's gonna approach Cartoon Network or something? Like,
well, it's either Hulu try to tack on like more on the Attack on Titans. That's actually really fun. But instead of like attacking on the approach of like, okay, let's get Cartoon Network, they could get that, and they probably should because Rick and Morty is a big hit. So if they're able to get that, they don't have to worry about it.
mhm.
But instead of that, like Funimation or Crunchyroll, like partner up with another like anime and trying to go into like other kind of shows like into anime or cartoons or more kids stuff because they have now the opportunity is getting slim.
Yeah, I think Hulu has a lot more adult-oriented content than it
Hmm.
does for children. Um, in terms of anime, I'm not really sure if the American market is like primed for that. Again, we don't have the data, right? We don't know in the market like how many more people. Of course, it's way more than 10 years ago. But
Yeah, I think it's becoming more acceptable that people are actually saying like, "Hey, I'm watching anime," or then rather than the other um
right.
than before, like in middle school and when we were middle school, so like a decade old. And
I
now,
think I don't think it would benefit Hulu to make its own original series, right? Maybe partnering up with a different streaming service.
no,
And
Hulu has their own thing, but like I'm just saying, like more like the fact of like if they paired up with like some animes, like let's just say Crunchyroll and Hulu partnered up, and then basically try to get like exclusive rights to certain places, like um. So basically, like what they need to do is partner up. Uh, really just lost my train of thought right now.
all good, all good. We're here. We're casual.
Yeah, it's just more in the fact of like, so like if oh yeah, Hulu, like instead of getting like, you know how like Disney Plus did a package deal, well in America did a package deal with ESPN and um and Hulu. Actually, yeah, Hulu is packing up with Disney, so Hulu will be still in the safeguard with Disney Plus because now it's like the deals right now is Hulu, Disney Plus, and ESPN Plus for $13.99 a month. So like
So
that's
is Disney Plus um
I think
posting up shows
Disney
that are
owns
available on
Hulu.
Hulu as
Yeah,
well, or they're just like one package deal?
I think it's one package deal because Disney do control ESPN Plus and also Hulu Plus. Because they wouldn't make that package deal for no apparent reason. Why give money to other places if you could just take them all?
Well, I don't want to feel like an idiot here. So, does Disney own Hulu?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like Disney Plus made that deal with
Yeah,
Hulu.
yeah. Disney owns Hulu.
Yeah, and ESPN
So
Plus.
Disney's a parent organization.
Yeah,
Okay,
but like all
that
those like
makes sense.
other
That makes
shows like AMC, NBC, CBS, and CW, those are throughout like the whole thing. Like you could get it on Netflix. I think it's like you could get on Netflix after they're done because they did the deal with them. And then like certain shows like NBC's with Hulu, then AMC you could get it like The Walking Dead. Let's just use The Walking Dead for example. So Netflix will
yeah,
get the whole season of Walking Dead after The Walking Dead's done. Then they put it onto Netflix.
right.
So you
Yeah,
could
yeah,
binge watch it. All the
yeah. Yeah,
CW
because
shows
they
you
made
do
their
that
money from the season being out, and then they're like, all right, let's make it a little bit extra by licensing it to Netflix. You know.
exactly. So so yeah, so I think that's how they could make their extra money. These smaller ones, but then you
That's,
have your hmm?
I want to know how. Sorry to cut you off. I want to know like how Netflix is going to compete with that package that Hulu's that Disney's putting out.
Well, then Netflix either had to fight with, like I said, like go attack the anime route, which they're making more of those,
Yeah,
or kind of like partnering up with Sling, or like even like cell phone companies. Hey, if you buy Verizon, you get like what Verizon Disney Plus is doing. You buy Verizon, you get a year free of Disney Plus.
that's
So
interesting. In Japan they have something similar, right? Where if you buy a specific cell phone plan, you don't have unlimited data, but you have unlimited data to access specific apps. So like
okay,
unlimited data for Instagram, unlimited data for Twitter, for YouTube, for Netflix, right? And they call it like the Netflix plan or whatever. So obviously there's a partnership involved there.
of course.
But yeah, that's something. Do you see that sort of thing in the U.S.?
Now I see more like the whole Disney Plus Verizon, and then like you buy the triple play package for Verizon, you get one free year of Disney Plus.
Okay,
You make an account, you say whatever, and then not pretty much set with that. But no other places are doing that yet.
right. Yeah, yeah.
Um, like I know
I think
Optimum,
how
like
structure is different.
Altice, like on their remote has a button called like there's a Netflix button that on the TV that you could press, and the box will just go into Netflix for you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Huh.
Um, then the next thing it's like so Disney
Wait,
Plus has ES, huh?
which box are you talking about?
Altice is like the new TV, the cable vision box.
Okay.
So they have like a button that's like actually like Netflix on the remote.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So you press the Netflix button, it turns on Netflix as you're watching TV.
Okay.
So you could just switch from cable vision to Netflix.
Yeah.
Um, but like then I think what Netflix could do is instead of going into like trying to find in the sports and like going for like NFL Network or whatever. I know that's probably hard to get with NFL, but like the NBA or MLB or soccer because ESPN already has it, and that's already owned by Disney Plus. So Disney Plus is making moves on all ways to get people to come and watch their stuff. Because people are just not just watching sports; they're watching other stuff as too. They can't watch sports
Yeah.
24/7.
Yeah. Well, so
So
is Disney pushing advertising for Disney Plus, the Disney Plus service through ESPN?
yeah, like
Oh.
the triple package, so you could group them together, get all three as one.
Right, right. Yeah, well, that of course is like a kind of sort of marketing, but
Mm-hmm.
let's say like through an ESPN program, right? Obviously, on ESPN you have these people who talk about the player, the athletes, and talk about the games and all that stuff. They don't do like short kind of advertisements for Disney Plus or.
There's a couple of NFL players that do commercial for like Hulu Plus or whatever, but not so much of Netflix. I haven't seen a Netflix one yet. I've seen Hulu.
Is NFL exclusively streamed by ESPN?
No, they have like other like Fox has one, CBS has like a game they watch on Thursday night or Monday night, and then Sunday night you can watch NFL Red Zone or a game that has a host in. But mostly is on. You can watch everything on NFL Network,
Okay.
and
And
that's their
NFL
own
Network
thing.
is a separate
Yeah.
entity, right? That's for streaming service. Okay.
hmm
Yeah, I know next to nothing about that. I don't follow sports.
Or
So.
no, yeah, but like it just depends on how you want to look at it. Like there's like the NBA pass and then the MLB pass as well, so you can watch all your baseball game, basketball game, whatever. Like ESPN Plus, like you can watch a little of everything or
Oh,
different
okay. So
leagues.
ESPN Plus, the ESPN doesn't have rights to cover all of the games in the NFL or all of the games in the NBA or all of the games in MLB. Okay.
Certain games they do have, or you could probably find majority of them on it. But
Okay.
whatever the ESPN has to offer,
Mhm.
they'll put it.
Okay.
So that's what I think like Netflix should do to compete. Like they got Nickelodeon, great, you know what I mean? Because like all the really good '90s movies are on it, so they can still get those like Millennium and Gen Z and maybe Gen X to watch and say on Netflix, or they have to just keep on putting really good shows and movies out.
Yeah, yeah, they'd have to put
And I
out
don't
good
think just more
content.
movies. Movies are good, you know what I mean? Because they're just one and done, but that's the problem. They're one and done. So I think it's mostly really good shows like Stranger Things or how HBO has the um what's it called? Game of Thrones. So Game
Hmm.
of Thrones, and then HBO is doing another show, the prequel. So they already got the people already hooked on Game of Thrones, even though they botched the last season. They
They
still
did.
get people to watch the prequel now. Okay, and then HBO is really good for their other shows as well. Um, but like with that, it's just like the list goes on. Like you have to fight, or Netflix and HBO partnering up,
Hmm.
or if you buy a package of like like the other streaming service like Sling, PlayStation View, app, and also like Apple TV, like those kind, or like YouTube
Yeah,
TV.
Apple TV is coming out.
Like you could do those partnerships as well, and they're probably doing it in the work probably, but like I said, like I don't know. But like if they could try partnering up with other places, then yeah. And then like a nice fun fact for people, if you have like an Amazon Fire Stick, if you could just download Kodi, which you could just use a streaming service and just watch anything you want for free. And you just jailbreak it. You just have to buy the Fire Stick, and after that, you jailbreak it. In a sense, you just download Kodi and just stream it on your Fire Stick.
So you
And that's
jailbreak the Fire Stick, download Kodi, put it into the Fire Stick, and then
it.
you can.
Basically, like you download an app, and
Okay.
that app is like the streaming service, so you can watch anything on that. So like I know people who have watched like, oh, you don't have Netflix, you watch it on Kodi.
Right. Okay.
And that's what people would do.
All right. I may have to look into that. The thing is,
Yep.
like, I have a bunch of like access to friends' accounts and like
Mhm.
just like people I don't even know their account because
Of
it's like
course.
my friend was like, yeah, no, it's all good, take it.
So
You
yeah,
can use.
generally
I have an
speaking,
HBO account. I have an HBO account of a friend's like uncle.
yeah. Some people, yeah, because it's really hard to track the algorithm of when people watch it or whenever. So, but like when they do, they catch you and they'll be like, "Oh, okay, charge, charge, and charge." And you look at it, then you look at it. It's like, wait, what now? No, I didn't give it. I didn't give anyone out. Why would I give it?
That happens. People get charged money.
Like charged. I got charged a couple, like, like $30 from Netflix because when I was in Italy, I watched it on my phone,
Uh huh.
and they thought because using I was not in the States watching it. I was still watching it. They still charged me. I was like, oh, you're watching it out of country. Yes, you were right, but I'm watching it on my account.
Right.
There's something that you have to say, like, and a big disclaimer, not in fine print, because you can just fight it all the time and just keep on fighting it. So what you win.
Okay. So then I need to find out if that's happening to Maya because our Netflix account is under hers. And if I'm watching through a VPN on American Netflix, that might cause a problem where she's getting charged. And
If you're, yeah, that's just you have to check your finance and check your credit cards and see if you have an extra
well, the
charge.
thing is, I don't think she checks any of her finances. So, yeah, that's the problem. But she also doesn't want me nosing around in it. So whatever. This is something that should,
Personal.
yeah, not going on the podcast. But I'll talk to her about that later. And thank you for talking about that because maybe that might be an issue. Um,
Um,
yeah, I didn't know that the streaming services like charged people for having like multiple people
well,
watching on
because
the same account.
technically speaking, when you share your account, they're technically losing money. They're losing potential money.
Yeah, but they know that. Like that's not
But that's why they're trying to make it as a family plan. So like Netflix will make it into a family plan, so you can share up to 5 accounts to whatever.
right. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So that's what they're trying to get at for people, so you can watch. You can have 5 people watching Netflix at once with no problem, and it will just cost a little bit extra. But you have, or and then let's just say you got one Netflix account and you share with 5 people. That they're basically potentially losing 4 other people. So
Yeah. I mean, Maya shared her Netflix account info with like one of her friends, and sometimes when I'm trying to watch something, I can't because they're already watching something, right? So that's another tactic that they use, where like, oh, you're already watching something somewhere else, so you can't watch it here.
exactly. So like these streaming servers are getting smarter because now there's so much data that's happening now that, oh, how many people are watching this at this time, where, what, when, and then they compile all this stuff and then boom, they put it in the Excel sheet on a graph and saying, hey, at this time this account had been looking at this. Okay, cool. Let's block this. Let's charge this extra account because that's too many. That's so many different IP addresses. Okay, boom.
Right.
And
Well, you can tell.
I'm just saying probably like the really I'm probably just like speaking gibberish, or it's not done, or it is done, but more in the fact of like if they are using that, they try to basically make it seem that you have to buy. So like I buy one, my brother buys one, my sister buys one, my other sister buys one, and the list goes on. Basically, instead of having one account for 5 people, you have 5 accounts for 5 people.
Right, but that's why they introduced the family plan thing, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Angela, your phone's farting.
Yeah. Well, that's just when you want to try when you want to try and be innovative, try on your phone because it's better quality than your laptop.
Oh yeah, yeah,
And
for
then your
sure.
phone goes off because you have text messages from different apps. So yeah,
Oh yeah. I say I'm lucky. This phone itself is SIM free, and I haven't actually attached it to a carrier yet, so I can't get texts. But I can get like Facebook messages or
data
other messages. Yeah.
on the Wi-Fi. But yeah,
Yeah.
like going back to like the streaming service, like not like you still have like the YouTube TV, um, PlayStation View, YouTube, Apple TV and also Sling that you could watch these episodes or channels or shows on these streaming service instead of buying it. So now what people are trying to do now is like, is it really worth it to get the triple play of phone, cable, and internet and just get a really good internet and
Yeah.
then just get a couple of streaming services? But like if you look at it, you're basically just doing you got the internet. Let's just say you got 3 streaming service, so you got 3 channels, and you just don't have a landline because you have your cell phone.
Right.
In a
Yeah.
sense, you just made yourself have a package, but you probably are saving maybe depending on what kind of internet you get, you could save up to $100 depending on how you're looking at it. Or you could be
Yeah.
paying, or you could just make it even, but you're not paying for the thousands of channels because you don't even watch the thousands of channels. You probably watch like maybe 10 of them. And then when you say 10, it's like maybe once in a blue moon because you're flicking through the channels and there's
Right.
something
Is
real
there
good.
is there an option to only subscribe to Disney Plus rather than the Hulu and ESPN package?
Yeah. And it pays probably, I think it's like maybe $7, not like $7.99. I don't know what the actual price right now, but it's one of those.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like you could just get like I have just ESPN Plus, right? And I pay like $60 a year, and that's it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's not bad.
And then Hulu's like $5 a month. And then if I want to get Disney, I have what's it called? I think I'm sharing it with someone.
Okay. Yeah, what's cool.
And
That's
they
like,
have the year plan.
okay. They're the annual. Right.
Yeah,
Maya's mom has Hulu, so we use that account, and then Maya has Netflix, so we use that account.
that's what I'm
And
saying.
I have Amazon Prime Video, so we use that account for
And then you
that.
kind of just and like that's what also a lot of people are doing. It's like, okay, I get Netflix, you get Hulu, that person get Apple TV, that person get Disney Plus. They paid for the year, and you just swap informations.
Yeah.
So that everyone's pulling their weight now instead of just so you're actually buying one package, one subscription for 5 or 4 or whatever the case may be.
Well, that's what we were like thinking about, of course, and I'm sure many people are trying to do that as well. But you were just talking about how some people get charged more if they find activity on their account somewhere
I'm
else.
just saying for my example because that happened to me and my family. It could happen to other people, or actually people don't get charged, and that's fine. You know what I mean? Good for them. It's
Yeah.
just I'm just saying from my experience, just be careful when you do, or watch it from another country, or if if you have relatives that watch it from another country, that's also another thing too.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it's more in the fact of like just be careful and be wary what you want to do with everything. So, that's mostly like what I have on like streaming service, and just like on top of that, just basically like if you're doing it, pick if you really want to do that whole route of picking a really good internet and then going at and then pick your streaming service, pick the let's just say 3 of the streaming service that you really do enjoy if you're gonna do it by yourself, and then pay them, and that's it. And then do whatever bundle. If not, find your brothers, find your in-laws or whatever, and then try to work out something else. Like, hey, if you get HBO, I'll get Netflix. That person will get this, and then just kind of like do it that because if you're all close, that will work.
Yeah. If you're close in like physically your location, then
Mm-hmm.
it's probably a problem to share all those accounts.
Exactly.
But I'm apprehensive about all of these streaming services out right now because it's looking like it's going to be just like the cable box landscape, where like you have to buy this package of stuff, and it doesn't matter if you don't want such and such part of it, you
Mm-hmm.
have to buy it. together. It's kind of like a lot of plans that we got with like phone, internet, and what else was it? I know there was like something else involved.
Yeah. No, I understand what you're saying. It's just with the phone, cable, and internet.
Yeah, yeah,
That like they try to package instead of them packaging, you're trying to package something else, but it's not. You're not paying for nonsense, or you're not paying for the service, which a
right,
lot of
right.
people don't want to
Do you
do.
know? Do you know any companies that are selling only internet? Like they're not even selling phone or cable package with it?
No, they are all doing it. It's just they make it is like instead of paying $80 for just the internet, they'll try to do if you pay 160, you get all three. So in that sense, it's not bad to get
Right,
all three
right, right.
or whatever. So they kind of try to make it that you have to keep all three of them.
Yeah, they try to upsell you on the package deal because each individual one is more expensive than if you just got them all as a package. Yeah, makes
Basically
sense.
buy in bulk.
Yeah, yeah,
And that's really what they're going at. But it's basically being careful, do your research, seeing what kind of cable vision you guys have, or what service you guys have, like Verizon, um, Optimum, Xfinity, and all that stuff, and trying to actually see what's really good in your area. Look at the price, look at the packages, and then look at the streaming service and see if that's adequate for you. And
yeah.
see if you could save $20, $40. That's per month, so it adds up.
Yeah, and I would just go with the streaming services. You know, like even I'm good with even just two, because to be honest, I don't even watch the news anymore.
Yeah.
And
And also
like
you can get the
some people
news
would say
on
that's
your
a bad
phone.
thing. Some people would say it's yeah, that's good. But I feel like it's all just negative and fear mongering. So I don't need to be watching that to be watching what I want to watch on Netflix or on Hulu or whatever. Some of them have really interesting documentaries. So it's not like I'm watching nonsense when I'm watching those services.
Exactly.
Cool. Well, I mean that's enough from me. Yeah, I
Yep.
have. I've
I
expended.
think that's pretty much that with that. It's just basically just be careful, just not be careful. Just more in the fact of like do research on what you like or what you want, and then go from there and just take it and plan accordingly.
Yeah, be conscious of like what you're already registered for. So like if you have Netflix, Hulu, and Disney Plus, but you also own cable, just think of ways to trim out some of those. And if you want cable, all right, you want to keep it. But you know, if you have way too many, you don't physically have the time to be watching all of the content. So
Well, so look at
definitely
your cable
top
bill. If
notch,
you're spending
you
too
know?
much, if you're spending about anywhere from 160 to 200 and you're okay to spend that, then don't worry about it. But if you say, "Oh my god, that's a lot of money," look
Yeah,
into other options.
yeah,
That's really what
absolutely.
it is. But
All right.
guys, thank you for listening this week about streaming services.
Yeah, yeah. Thanks for being here.
All right, just stay tuned for next week. Um, like, subscribe us at Training Brains podcast
Yes, and
at
please share.
gmail.com.
Friends.
Email us, like, comment, see how we're doing, comments on this. If we made any mistakes, let us know.
Mm.
We're just trying to get a little nice, friendly environment going on here. Community, just talking about sharing ideas, picking each other brains out, and go from that. So
Yeah, I mean, this podcast itself it's very casual, and it's you and I just talking about whatever's on our mind, or we'll come up with a theme. But we really do want to hear from the listeners, and we want to hear your comments, your feedback, and even content suggestions. So,
exactly.
as always, thanks for listening, and we will see you next week.
See you next week. Bye,
Bye,
guys.
bye, guys.